Hi guys, welcome to the video. In this video we're going to be doing 0620, which is chemistry, variant 42 from the major series of 2016. This is question number 2. Remember, I'm also going to give you tips throughout the video, so save them for later. And please stay till the end, as part B is considered confusing by some students, or by many students should I say, and you want to secure your grades, don't you? So better safe than sorry, so stick till the end. Let's do part A, part 1 now. Part A, part 1 says, define the term atomic number. The answer to this will be, it is the number of protons in one atom of an element, and this will give you 1 mark. Remember to write this statement clearly and exactly as it is. You can change up the words a little bit, but not too much. You will only get the mark if number of protons in one number of element. You have to write this entire statement, then only you will get the marks. It is not necessary, but just write it for good measure. Define the term nucleon number. Now, what is nucleon number? Do not confuse it with neutrons. Sorry, I messed up there. Do not confuse this with neutrons, as neutrons are completely different compared to nucleon number. Nucleon number is the number of protons plus the number of neutrons, okay? If you write just the number of protons, or just the number of electrons, or just the number of neutrons, or you write protons and electrons, or neutrons or electrons, you won't get the mark. So remember, you have to write this entire phrase, number of protons and neutrons. And the second mark will be given to you by this statement, which is in one atom of an element. So this will give you 2 marks. Let's go to part B. Now, over here, I'll give you 3 tips. Or maybe 4, depends. So, tip 1, I will give you right now. It is that always remember that the bigger number is the nucleon number. The bigger number is always the nucleon number, and the smaller number is always the proton or atomic number. Proton or atom number. Remember this. You'll understand why I'm telling you this later. So this is the proton number, and this is the nucleon number. So now you know tip 1. So let's get to particle B. Particle B is having 12 protons, 12 electrons, and 12 neutrons. Now, we need to find the symbol or formula for it. Remember, the nucleon number can be the same for many elements or atoms, okay? It can be varied. However, the proton number will always remain the same, not the electron number, the proton number. It will always remain the same. So always the atomic number or the proton number will remain the same. So let's look for an element or an atom with the smaller number or the proton or atomic number as 12. So if you go ahead to group 2 of the periodic table, and in period 3, you will see magnesium, which has the smaller number as 12 and the bigger number as 24. So we can write Mg1224. Now, try to guess what mistake I made here, if you can guess. Well, if you guess correct or if you guess wrong, I'll never know, but I'm just going to tell you right there. So I wrote the numbers opposite, and this will not have given me a mark, okay? So the problem I had here is the bigger number is always the nucleon number, and the smaller number is always the proton number. Remember that. Over here, in their example, they have given it to us, like IGCSE has given it to us, as 12 is the nucleon number, so the bigger number is at the top, which means the nucleon number is at the top, and the proton number is at the bottom. So you will write, instead of that, 24 and 12. So this is the right answer, as the smaller number is down there. The reason I told you this step, and the reason why this format is important, is because in many periodic tables, it has been written the other way around. So they write the smaller number at the top and the bigger number at the bottom, and this really just confuses students a lot. So remember, the bigger number is always the nucleon number, and the small number is always the proton number, except in a hydrogen atom. The hydrogen atom has one nucleon number and 1 proton number, so they're the same. So now let's go to part C. Over here, I'm just gonna give you 1 tip before we start. Tip 2. It is that The proton has a charge of +1, electron has a charge of -1, and neutron has no charge because it's lame and it's neutral. So don't forget this. You have to remember this. It is like a must, and you must stuff it in your brain somehow. So particle C is number of protons is 8, number of electrons. So what will be the number of electrons? As over here, they have given it to us as the oxygen ion has a charge of -2. So if you can recall from the previous 20 seconds that I told you, the electrons have a charge of -1, okay? So there are 2 extra electrons in this oxygen ion. Then only it will have the -2 charge. So it has 10 electrons. The number of neutrons is very easy to find, and this is where tip number 3 comes in. Always remember this formula. If you forget this formula, you're not going to be able to do these types of questions. The formula is proton number plus neutron number is nucleon number. I did not say neutron number. I said number of protons plus number of neutrons is nucleon number. So they have given us the number of protons as 8 plus the neutrons, which are unknown, is equals to the nucleon number, which is the bigger number. Always remember. So the bigger number is 16, as they've given it to us. So we'll do n is equals to 16 minus 8, which will give us 8. Yep. So the number of neutrons is 8. Remember, over here in these parts, coincidentally, the neutron number and proton number is same. They will not always be same. And you can see an example of this in particle D. The number of protons and neutrons is different. So let's just find the similar formula for part D. Part D looks like a very easy part until you realize that the proton number and electron number are different. Now I want you to recall again. If there's an extra proton, so what will be the charge on the atom? If you guess on the ion, so if you guess correct, the answer would be +1. If you guess wrong, you would have said -1 or neutral. So the actual answer is +1. So now let's just find an atom with the proton number of 11. So let's just look now. Remember, proton number can never change. So this atom just has one less electron. So we would say that it has one more proton. Proton number can never change. So let's just find an element with the proton number of 11. So if you scroll through to fluorine and then we go to neon, so we can see in group 1, period 3, you will see sodium. Sodium has the charge, Sodium has the proton number as 11. So we can write Na. The charge is +1 as it has one less electron. The electron is one less, so there's -1 electron. So one less. So the charge will be +1. And remember, always write in the format they wrote it as. So 16, which is the bigger number, and 8, which is the smaller number. So first of all, let's check Na stats. So sodium, the bigger number is 23, which is a nuclear number. So we will write it at the top. Remember, do not write it at the bottom or you will lose the mark. And the smaller number, which is 11, over here where they've given us to us the proton number. So we'll write it down there, and this will give us 6 marks. So yes, it looked quite easy, but it needed a lot of working. And guys, remember, save these 3 tips. Tip 1 plus tip 2 plus tip 3 is equals to good grades. So bye guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe, and if you like my content, then just subscribe and like and share with your friends. And if you find my content useful, please leave a reply in the comments and tell me how I can improve. So bye guys, see you